Welcome back to Crypto Talk. I'm excited to share with you in this video XNA and the potential price explosion that I believe we will see in the upcoming crypto bull run with XNA. Now, I want you to think about XNA as something that has a lot of potential, but I also want you to understand that XNA has a lot of risk. Now, I'll share with you some details about XNA in terms of what I've experienced with XNA since I've bought XNA, and it's important that you understand I'm not telling you to buy XNA. I'm simply sharing with you this opportunity. I think XNA has tremendous upside, but it is very risky. And if you choose to invest in XNA or any other crypto for that matter, you're doing so at your own risk. If you're not willing to assume the risk of investing in crypto, then do not even proceed. Remember, just because I think that XNA will see tremendous price explosion in 2024 when we see a strong crypto bull run, does not mean that I'm going to be correct. I personally think it will, and I'll share some of those details as to why. Now, I'm going to share my screen with you, and we'll go over to CoinMarketCap. And on CoinMarketCap, we're going to look at some of XNA's numbers. So we're over here on CoinMarketCap. This is a website where you can literally access pretty much any data on a lot of different cryptos. You can see here that XNA is currently ranked number 710 out of all cryptos. 554. That's the 24-hour volume. That's 710. The XNA crypto coin is ranked number 554 in terms of market cap out of all cryptos. So the chart for XNA, let's quickly look at it. The one-day chart, 0.97 in the red, that's obviously not a lot of movement. The 7-day chart, minus 25%. Now, this is interesting because this might be a great opportunity to buy XNA if you are someone who wants to buy XNA. Again, I'm not telling you to buy it. It's your choice if you do choose to buy it. So your risk, your choice. I'm not telling you to do it. 1 month, it's relatively even on the month. Now, if we look at the year, it's up 5, 4, 1, 3. That's insane. Look at all, and all is going to match. So what I want to show you here very quickly, XNA kind of emerged onto the scene here on the 7th. Let's see, what have we got here? 7/6/28. So right around July, end of July. Here we have 7, 8, or June, end of June-ish or whatever. So June, July is kind of when this project came onto the scene. Now, of course, we've been seeing crypto bear markets still in those times. And you see right here, this project right around the 7:30 mark, right here as we go into kind of the later stages of this, I believe, is July. We go, boom, right there, a little bit up into August. Boom, nice little spike there in August. Okay, now, after that, it had a very sharp drop off. This is relatively quick, okay? So keep in mind, from its peak here, this is around August 9. Boom, like August 17. So that's very quick, okay? Now, I want you to understand this because some of the stuff I'm going to share with you about XNA, it has some crazy movement, okay? So you want to understand that with something that has crazy movement like this, if you are to get in and you are to wait for it to appreciate a certain amount, you have to exit quickly on something like this. The XNA to me is it's showing similar movement to meme coins. Like meme coins, they will move so ridiculous amounts, ridiculous amounts up and down in relative short periods of time. We're talking in just a matter of minutes and even hours. Now, XNA is not that volatile. It doesn't do it in a matter of like minutes, but in a matter of hours and days, XNA does move a lot. And that's why I want you to pay attention to this and why I'm going to share with you about the potential of what I think XNA has. And again, we're not diving into the potential fundamentals of XNA. We're not even really looking at what XNA is. We're simply looking at what we think this project could do because this project has so much hype behind it. I think it could 100x from its current price, and that would be insane, obviously, to see that. Now, very quickly, as we kind of keep going through the chart here. Here, this is all crypto kind of bear market stuff, okay? So right around here, and keep in mind, the crypto markets started to kind of turn around in October, November. So if you look at XNA, essentially, after it had this little pump here back in August, it essentially, dipped down and rose a little bit up and down, just small amounts, right? Nothing major here. You can see small pumps, small dumps, small pumps, right? And then it just kind of stabilized right around here. Roughly, we'll say around 0.0008. Now, this right here is middle of November. This is November 14, 2023. And look at this massive spike from the 14th of November. This spike is the 26th of November. So we're talking a matter of 12 days. Essentially that 5,420 some percent, for the most part, most of that is literally in a span of 12 days. Now, ever since it hit its all-time high, notice what it's been doing. spikes down. Now, granted, obviously nowhere near spiking, nowhere near as low as here, right? But spiking down here pretty significantly, right? This drop here is literally from, what did we say the spike was here? The 26th, right? This drop here, right? This bottom here, like 4 days, right? So this is a massive spike down in just 4 short days. And I want you to pay attention to this, because if you're going to invest in XNA, if you are to see great price appreciation in XNA, which I think we will because XNA has a lot of hype behind it, you have to be prepared because this is going to dump off very quickly. And you can already see that here. XNA dumps some crazy amounts fast. And that's why you have to be on it. That's why I said also earlier, it reminds me kind of meme coins, because meme coins, they tend to like pump very quickly and dump very quickly. And that's one thing I will be very careful with XNA, and just not only XNA, but meme coins in general. If you're venturing into coins that don't have any value, like meme coins, you can make a lot of money, but you can lose a lot of money so fast. And I really encourage you to be so careful with this stuff because it is such high risk. But with XNA specifically, the reason I'm pointing this out to you is because I still think XNA will 100x from here. And I still think it's crazy opportunity to get in. But I want to highlight this stuff for you so that you're prepared if you are someone who wants to invest in XNA, so that you can pull the exit trigger or the sell trigger on time if you are to get in and see great gains. Now, let's quickly get through the rest of this chart here. Again, we had a little bit of a spike back up here. So this is a matter of literally like 4 and let's say about 8 days, okay? Then boom, another spike down, literally in the matter of a day. And then boom, a matter of a couple days, another spike, like 2 days. Right, and then boom, we're going to take this bottom here. This took a little bit longer to kind of get down to here, but you can see the idea of what's happening. Boom, another spike, right, in a matter of a day. And then boom, what is this? Literally in a matter of a week, it spiked up a lot. And now here you can see kind of right towards the end of 2023, which was just very recently at the time of me filming this video, it's come so close to its all-time high right here, okay? And now, again, what happened here is boom, a massive drop-off, okay? And again, this drop off, if you look at here, the spike, 12/28, 2023. So we're talking the boom, the bottom. Where's that bottom right here? Literally a matter of 2 days or 3 days, right? So this is why you have to be so careful with this one, because while it will move a lot, you will see this thing drop very fast when you see great appreciation. So I would just encourage you to be very careful with this one if you invest in it. I still think it's tremendous upside. I personally am holding XNA, and I'll share with you a little bit more about where I bought XNA and kind of where I'm sitting with it right now. But before I share that with you, I want you to understand that if you are to buy XNA, just because I think it can 100x from its current price, and I think it will, and I'll share with you some more details as to why I think it will, but just because I think that doesn't mean that it will. And just because I've risked money in XNA, I've put my money on the line, whatever I have in XNA, I've been willing to risk that. And that's on me. I take responsibility for that. If I was to lose that money, it'd be on me. But if I'm able to multiply that money significantly, then that's also on me. So, this is really what I want you to understand, that any investment you make, whether in XNA or any other crypto, it's on you. I'm not telling you to do it, okay? Now, real quick, I'll share with you what I did here with XNA. I invested with XNA. Let's see where we are in the price. 004. So I would have invested with XNA somewhere around here. And it was around 004, early 004. Now, what happened was I had my XNA actually drop off quite a bit. And I was like, okay, right here, you could see this would have been this drop. So I kind of caught it somewhere here, because when it was up here, this is actually kind of the first time XNA came onto my radar. And when it was on my radar up here, I'm thinking, okay, I'm not going to buy into XNA up here. What I'll do is I'll kind of wait it out. We had right here 004, and it's possible, I think it was somewhere in here that I bought, but if I look at the dates, actually it looks like I might be, it probably was more in line with here, because here this date is too close to the end of 23. I've been holding XNA for well over a month, so this date would line up more here. So when I saw this here, this is when it came onto my radar. I was waiting, and then it dropped to the 004. It was around closer to the bottom of 004 is where I bought in. So somewhere we'll say around here. Around the end of November is when I bought in, and then we continued to saw it slide, because immediately after I bought, I seen it was sliding already, but it hadn't been done sliding, and it slid some more, as you can see here, and then boom, we had this spike, and one day I'm like, oh, okay, nice. So this is what I'm looking for. It's boom, it's going up, and then I'm watching it, and boom, it's gone down, and I'm watching, and boom, it's gone up, and then I watch it go in another slide, and then I watched it go in this tear here just very recently, and again, I haven't sold any of it off because I'm waiting for it to multiply a lot more. But after this tear, boom, it dropped down, and then a slight little spike, and now it's dropping a little bit more as of now. and who knows exactly what it's going to do or where it's going to go from here in the short term. But I think that in the long term, XNA will appreciate a lot. And I wanted to share this video here today with you because ever since I've been in XNA and I've seen like crazy kind of explosive price action up and then boom down and then up and then down, and it's so quick. Like it'll pump 30, 40, 50% in a matter of a day, but then it'll lose that 30, 40% oftentimes so much faster than a day. So I want you to understand that overall right now with XNA, I'm not down on my investment. In fact, I'm up a little bit with my investment on XNA, but I've had multiple times where I've had the opportunity to cash out my investment where it was up like 40 to 50%, and I didn't because I personally think that XNA will multiply way more from here, which leads me to why I think XNA will see such tremendous price action. And I'll show you here kind of as I stop my screen share. I'll give you kind of one last little thing about XNA and why I think it can 100x from here. The reason I think that XNA can 100x from here is because of the amount of people that are behind it, the amount of hype. And one thing that you can do if you're interested in checking out kind of to verify this hype, you can literally go over to Twitter or to the platform called X now and look up XNA. But what you can do is go to the search bar and type in hashtag XNA and look at the sheer amounts of people talking about XNA and look at what they're saying. And look at how many times when you see people predicting 100x's and 1000x's, look at how many times XNA makes that list. XNA makes that list so many times that it keeps getting this kind of hype getting pushed and pushed. And I'm not saying that XNA is a great project or that it's not a great project. We're not looking at anything that XNA brings to the table from a value standpoint. It is highly risky and it's highly volatile. But because of the amount of people talking about XNA, the amount of hype that it's got behind it, the amount of people that believe that XNA will 100x or 1000x, it drives that price growth and it drives that explosion. Now, where you have to be careful with XNA is because if you see a lot of this price explosion, if you have a lot of people that were in very early, they see a lot of multiplication on their money, and that's where you have that dump off potential where you can get dumped off very quickly. So what I think personally with XNA is the quicker you get in with XNA, if you are someone who wants to get in, the better, because in a sense you have more upside to gain as opposed to downside if it was to dump off some more. So you wouldn't want to wait with XNA to the point where it's pumped already 20, 30, 40, 50 times past this price. If it does, then it gets so risky to get into XNA at that point. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of people do is they wait and wait, and when they see something start to go crazy amounts high up in the air, then they think that's a great time to buy. And in fact, when stuff is appreciated a lot, that makes it even more risky to get in because not only are you buying it at a higher price, your potential for it to go up is less, and the potential for it to drop down more is higher. So it's riskier the higher up something goes. So keep that in mind when you're looking to invest in crypto. And I think XNA is still relatively low compared to what it's going to do, but you can also see based off its price action how much it moves and how rapidly it moves. And again, I think, like I said, because of the hype that's behind XNA, the amount of people that predict XNA is going to 100x or 1000x, the amount of times people put that on a list in a tweet is just insane, actually. And so, it's very intriguing to see kind of what it's going to do with its hype. And kind of when we see a strong crypto bull run, I'm excited to obviously see what it's going to do. But with that said, one kind of other thing that's interesting about XNA is that it's called newer AI. And so it's interesting because it's also lining up with the AI narrative. So when we look at kind of the crypto bull run or the crypto, bull run coming up that we're anticipating, the kind of main narrative, some of the main storylines that are getting a lot of attention. AI is certainly one of them. Meme coins are another one of them. Gaming tokens are another one. And then we have RWA, tokenization of real world assets, is another one. And then also DeFi, of course, but DeFi has been getting a lot of attention pretty much in most bull runs. But the main things that are getting more attention, like I said, is AI and the gaming sector, right? And RWA, real world assets, the tokenization of those. So XNA lines up with the AI narrative, and then it lines up also with a lot of hype, and then it lines up also with that hype. A lot of people think it's going to 100x or 1000x, and I personally don't think it's going to 1000x, but I think you could see 100x from its current price. If you think about right now, it's trading at 0.004, so it's closing in on half a cent. So if you think about 100x from here, 100x from 5 cents would be like 50 cents, if my math is correct. So I think that's obviously super, super interesting. I think XNA could certainly do that because of the hype that's behind it and because of it lining up with the AI narrative, etc. And that's why I think XNA has so much explosive potential. But it is very important that if you are to invest in this, not only are you assuming the risk, but you have to be on top of this one because when XNA is going to pump, if we see XNA pump a lot, you will see it dump very, very fast. I'm almost certain of that. And what makes me certain of that is the amount of times in just the last month of me holding XNA, the rapid price movement that I've seen in such short periods of time. I know that if this multiplies a lot, I feel like it's almost a guarantee that this is going to dump so fast. So if you are someone who invests in XNA, what I suggest that you do is set your target. Have an exit point target, because what you'll see is that if XNA hits that point, you can just say, okay, this is it. I got great appreciation on my investment. I'm going to exit. If you're going to hang around too long with XNA, I think you could be up a lot, and then that could all drop off the table if you don't act fast enough. So I wanted to make this video today because I personally think that XNA will see explosive price growth in the 2024 crypto bull run, should we, of course, see that. And if it does see that price growth and you are someone who has invested in it, you better be ready to pull the sell trigger fast, because XNA is one that I think will dump fast, similar to what meme coins do. Meme coins drop so fast, it's just ridiculous. And obviously, I think XNA doesn't dump quite as fast, but it certainly does dump, kind of like meme coins dump, like, if you imagine a cliff and you were going to run Buffalo to a cliff. I'm not suggesting you should run Buffalo to a cliff or anything, but I'm just making a comparison here, okay? So if you have a cliff and you run Buffalo to the cliff, these are heavy animals, and these buffalo drop off the cliff. Imagine how long it takes the buffalo from by the time they jump off the cliff to hit the ground, how fast that is. That's essentially how fast meme coins dump off, okay? So you have to understand that, because if you understand that, you have a chance at exiting, and, when your investment is up, you have a chance at exiting and generating good money for yourself. Because at the end of the day, if you're holding something and it appreciates in price and you don't exit, and then eventually the price will lose, it'll lose its value, the token, to a degree anyway, in a bear market, and then your price appreciation will be gone. So if you're investing in crypto, you have to understand that you'll have to pull the sell trigger at some point. So that's all I'm trying to get across here. And I'm trying to tell you that I personally think XNA has a lot of upside, but it will dump similar to meme coins or buffalo jumping off a cliff type stuff, especially when it sees 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 100x, which I'm looking for it to achieve. Now, again, for me personally, I don't have, all my crypto assets in XNA. In fact, a small portion of my crypto assets is XNA. I personally wouldn't risk, large amounts in XNA. Not for me anyway. It moves too much up and down too quick. And I love obviously the movement of it. That gets me excited. But I will certainly not put all my money into XNA because of that high risk. I'll put some in for a huge upside and obviously try to capture some of that. That's the goal for myself with XNA. And if you are to invest in XNA, I would suggest something similar. And again, I'm not telling you to do this, but what I would suggest if you want to invest in XNA, I would suggest the sooner you invest, the better, because it has certainly not really dropped past 0.004. It's kind of like, even when it spikes up and down, when it does drop, it seems to have quite strong support around the 0.04 level. So anywhere around that level, personally, I think if you are to get in at that point, you stand to have a lot of upside for it to appreciate. And again, the sooner you get in a way, the better, because when we start to see it pump ridiculous amounts, if you choose to then get in, then you might see it drop off 30, 40% in a day, and you could be down half your investment literally a day after you invested. And I'm not saying that couldn't happen right now either, because it could. But, at the end of the day, you get in on something, the lower it is, it has less of your risk in terms of how much you can dump off is less the lower that it is. And your potential, the more that it can explode going up, is higher. So your risk overall, in the way that I see it, is less to invest in something when it's lower. And that's pretty obvious. But anyways, with that said, all of that being said, I'm not suggesting that you invest in XNA. If you are to invest in XNA or any other crypto, you're doing so at your own risk. And if you're not willing to take on the risk or the responsibility, then don't do anything at all. Remember that with crypto, it's highly risky, but you have a major upside, especially when we see strong crypto bull runs. And so with crypto, if you invest at a great time, you can multiply your money faster than any other way that I know to multiply your money. And of course, you can also lose money. So the thing that you have to understand is, if you invest in crypto, and if we start to see the bull run continue to progress, the higher up things go, if you're going to then jump in, again, then if the market was to turn around, you have more risk because your tokens could dump off more. But not only do you have more risk the higher up things go, you also have less upside potential. So just keep that in mind. I still think we're still early in the crypto bull run right now. So even if you were to invest in whether it's XNA or any other token, if the market was to reverse for a shorter period of time, or if a bull run was to get delayed, you're not in something that has already exploded a crazy amount. I mean, XNA already in a way has gone up quite a bit, but you get the idea of what I'm trying to say, that if you're going to buy crypto tokens, whether it's XNA or other tokens, try to identify ones that have not exploded a crazy amount yet, but they have people talking about them, they have hype behind them. And ideally, we would want them to have some value in the crypto space, because if they have value in the crypto space, we would likely see them sustain and hold their value for longer, giving us more time to, decide if we want to sell or what we want to do. And so keep that in mind. And again, if you choose to proceed at your own risk, it's your responsibility. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm not a financial advisor. And so with that being said, if you do want to invest in cryptocurrencies, you can buy and sell hundreds to thousands of them on MEXC completely free. MEXC is a crypto exchange. You can use the first link in the video description below. Sign up for MEXC, and in your spot account, you can literally buy and sell tokens for 100% free. It's not going to cost you a percentage to trade them at all. But keep in mind that MEXC, while I trust it, it is a crypto exchange. And some of the crypto exchanges, over the years, have not been, so well. We know what happened with FTX, things of this nature. So if you do hold your crypto on a crypto exchange, I recommend that you do not hold all your cryptos on one exchange. I recommend that you have multiple wallets, you move your crypto around, and if you want to, you also can get a cold storage wallet where you can essentially store your crypto offline. If you want to look into that and get a cold storage wallet, then click the second link in the description below. You can go get access to a Ledger wallet where you can essentially store your crypto offline in cold storage, and then you can go ahead and sell it whenever you want to do so. Essentially, all I'm trying to say that is if you're going to use MEXC, you can trade hundreds to thousands of cryptos via the first link in the description, completely free. But I would suggest that you spread your crypto around. Maybe cold storage, like I said, maybe alternative wallets like Trust Wallet, MetaMask. If you do get MetaMask or Trust Wallet, these are decentralized wallets, so you're relying on yourself to remember your passcode, your access, your secret recovery phrases, all this stuff. If you use decentralized wallets, never give your secret recovery phrases to anyone. Do not ever put them in on the internet anywhere, because if you do, it's likely that you're giving access to your wallet to some third party, and they can essentially go in and drain your wallets of any crypto that you have. So you have to be very careful with all of this stuff when it comes to crypto. If you're using centralized wallets, things like Coinbase or things like crypto.com, or if you're even going to use things like MEXC, which I recommended, a crypto exchange, these are all centralized players. So essentially, you never really have to be concerned if you were to lose your password. You can always get back into your accounts with these. Whereas if you use Trust Wallet and MetaMask, decentralized services, either those two or any other decentralized service, like I said, you're responsible for making sure you know what your passcode is for your wallet and your access, because you have nobody to go to retrieve that if you were to lose it. So keep that in mind. And remember, if you're investing in crypto, be smart about it. Try to get in at great times and make sure you're ready to exit. Spread your money around. Do not have it all in one place, and make sure you protect yourself, secure things. And if you want even that cold storage wallet, like I said, then you could store your crypto offline. That way, you can feel even more secure and protected with your cryptocurrencies. Again, second link in the description for that cold storage wallet. And any other thing that you want to do with regards to crypto, make sure that you always, always, always keep yourself protected, and be very mindful with who you share your information with, and the things that you're doing with crypto as well, to always keep yourself protected to the maximum, okay? I appreciate you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember that if you are to invest in XNA or any other cryptos, it comes with high risk. High risk equals either great reward, or it can also equal great pain. If you get in at a great time with crypto, you're more than likely to see great reward. If you get in at a bad time, you're more than likely to see great pain. And so it's important to understand that right now, even though the crypto market has appreciated quite a bit over the last couple months, we're still relatively low to what I think that we are going to see. So I personally think for myself, it's still a great time to get into crypto, because as we start to see that price go up on tokens, our risk increases because stuff is up higher, and our potential price return, gains, decrease. So the lower things are, the better it is to get in. I encourage you, if you want to get into crypto, get in now. But again, I'm not telling you to do that. So do not, put any blame on me if you get in and you lose money. And also, if you get in and make money, that's also on you. It's not on me. I'm just simply here sharing with you things that I think are opportunity. And with that being said, do as you want. Remember, it's your life. You have to be accountable for it. You're responsible for it. So act in accordance. I appreciate you for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. Leave any thoughts or questions you have in the comments below for me. If you want me to address different crypto tokens, if you want me to make videos on specific ones, comment them down below. Let me know so I can make those videos for you. And if you have not subscribed yet to Crypto Talk, then make sure you do, so you do not miss future Crypto Talk videos. I appreciate you for taking your valuable time out of your day to tune in. Stay blessed, and we'll see you soon. Let's go.